van thing?
Yeah, we're going to pause right now for the other stuff and do the van stuff.
This is the new Bold van.
Sorry, Cheryl.
What you gonna do?
Watch.
Ooh, it's fancy. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, this is Todd. This is Todd. He's from Total Mobility.
Hello.
Hi, Todd.
The ramp and the wheelchair stuff works, and the hookups and all that stuff. So listen up.
So what do you do?
So held this button, this door open button.
If you point it
And
forward,
you hold the
right's
button
right,
down.
left.
Yeah.
You got her. Some people
Yeah.
take a little fingernail polish and just put it on there, and that way, you know.
Right. So then you just hold that button down, and then to close it, you hold the button down, and it will close itself.
Wow.
Over here,
The van's.
before it closes, right there. See how the door sits out? If you ever parallel parking against a curb, you know, instead of typically you want to get close to the curb, you want to be away from the curb because of the way the door comes out. It's just going to go against that curb and just scrape the heck out of it. Then you have to deal with somebody else. It'll be yours. That's the biggest thing on the outside. Just if you're up parallel parking, there is a switch inside. We'll do that later. That the van actually kneels down, it squats down, which the angle of the ramp off. You turn that off parallel parking. Up in the air with some of these cars getting higher and higher. I mean, you can park it close enough and almost.
I know, yeah, almost.
Okay, inside, that's pretty much it. The remote does work everything, back doors, both side doors, everything is powered. So now she's gonna read the ramp. And you can actually kneel down also. You'll see it once that ramp starts, and it's gonna start dropping.
Yeah, it lowers.
That's so cool.
And what that's doing is that's just taking the angle of the ramp, you know, and making it easier. You know, an able-bodied person, you know, might be a bigger person in a manual chair. You know, it might be wet or slippery out, and makes it easier going in and out. Once you take the individual inside, they all have to be forward-facing. So you are going to have to turn them so they're forward-facing. If they transfer out of a chair, you know, some people can walk a little bit, you know, where they back seat or wherever they go. If the chair is unoccupied, you need two restraints on it, one in the front and one in the back to hold the chair. If the person in the chair, you need all four, and lap and pretty as far as that goes. But and when you say, oh, we're going right down the road, just a mile down the road, we'll worry about it. If you do get an accident, 500, and remember, it's coming through you on the way out. So it only takes real easy. Once it's there, what you do is pull it out, latch it on.
Yeah.
4 of them. They hook right onto the chair to release. All you hit to do is hit the red button. You know, once it's locked onto the chair, you have to hit this red button for it to retract. You do have your belt right here, and then you're going to use your OEM, the ones right on the wall, to come around, you know, for their lap and shoulder belt.
That must be connected.
Yeah, if they have a seat belt on their chair, that's actually rated for about 3 to 5 miles an hour tops. So you still need this. You know, you want it right down at their side, just like you get into your vehicle. You know, you pull it over and click it down by your hip. That's where you want this to sit. It's extended out right now, but you have different people. So all you have to do is pull this back. You know, you cuff it for different people, and when you pull this out, it pulls out. Little stickers help. When you're putting these belts away, it's always easier to like shove it up in here. Get yourself a stick to push the red button. all that does is just save yourself from bending over every time. You know, if you take this off and it's laying on the floor, that's why. And some people with have a hook on the end where they can just grab a hold of this. Helps. But when you're outside, it's easier. You know, when the chair's in, you can just grab and hook. You want it on a solid part of the frame of the chair, or if they do have transit hooks on the power chair, you want it on a rigid part of the frame. You don't want it on a footrest or an armrest. You want it on something solid that's going to hold. With some of the manual chairs, there's 4 loops here. Hitting into the frame sometimes.
Yeah.
But if this is part of the chair, all you're going to do is you're just going to take the loop around the frame and stick it through, and then this pulls out. Now you can take the hook and hook it right onto here. I should have brought a chair with me, but then I would have had to ride it the whole way back.
Light here goes out. Right here.
Back seat is actually pretty high.
Yeah.
You have a footrest here. Body people. Keep everybody comfy. I'll just throw these. The
There's a lot of
seats.
short people.
Hiffer's not back. It's just the push. The headrest come down, gives you a better
That is
visibility out the back. And the seats they do recline.
So take a nap.
You have a bunch of hookups for phones and plugs and everything if somebody's on O2. But over on this side of the dash, I can bring the seat back. With the in-floor ramp, you have 2 buttons over here. Please hold. You have 2 buttons right here. First, the top one's for the kneel, which turns it on and off if you're at a curb, and the other one is for the ramp. So if you turn that off, and just say you're just taking 2 able-bodied people that are in the back seat, you know, the dentist, you know, they have dentist appointments. You can turn the ramp off, hit the door button. I mean, there's buttons all over. There's a VMI button, your OEM buttons, your remote, anything for the back door, even behind the pillars. They open and close the doors right here on both sides. Now the door will open and the ramp will come out, so able-bodied people can just hop in and out without having the ramp go out every time.
Will those lock when the car's in motion?
No, this is before the door would open. The ramp, the door. No, if you're going down the road and you know somebody's messing with the buttons and everything else, it will not open.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Thank you.
The door still have valve locks on that you can turn on and off, but the ramp door is, you know, and that's goes into the OEM system. And there is a button right here that turns the power for all the windows and doors. Sometimes you go to hit this, or you might just be swinging a they don't open on their own. Check this button before you call and scream at us, because some people, and it's just from experience, you know, nothing's working. You know, we need to get these people to appointments. If you just hit that, and it's something simple, but that's a Toyota feature. Make sure that button is out and not powering everything off.
I might like to turn that off though a lot. Like if you have somebody that keeps playing with the windows and stuff, I would love to.
Watch yourself in the wintertime. If things start getting really warm, you do have heated seats in the front. They're both right here and they go up and down. Everything else is all, you know, you have navigation on the system and everything else also, you know, all on the screen. Everything's all digital right in front of you. You can control a lot of stuff right off of the steering wheel also.
We have the resources to help you move ahead soon. Let's go together. After the intro.
But I mean, you can even go to your map and everything else, and once you go and set it, map gets bigger, everything else, but that's all there though. I mean, you hit menu, you put your destination and everything in,
Oh, you can hook it up to your phone. See?
you know,
Yeah.
Perfect.
nothing saved, but wait, that comes off. You do have a backup too, but there's no favorites or anything. But I mean, I can actually search for, you know, you can go in and go fuel or anything like that, but it's all right there.
Does it have a backup camera?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Ramps out, it's going to come in. The doors open and everything.
Is it a push start?
Closed. But yeah, that full screen is about, they say within 24 to 30.
Yeah, push the brake, right?
Yeah, and you do have to push the brake. Of boxes, and Kim will have the conversion. I have that for, she can put it in here, but you got the conversion book is actually pretty simplified. It's not real long. You know, take a look at it sometime, you know, around. But any questions, you know, you can always call me or ask him and she can get a hold of me. And we're just right over off of Dairy Street. So just on the other side of Walmart and that. I believe anything that you know that I did not cover at all. Oh, yes, removing the seat.
Oh, that's what I was pulling. That's what I was
Can I
pulling.
get you to get out? I need to show the girl something there.
That piece comes out. That thingy noise is gonna come out.
Yeah. For some magic.
If you would ever need, like the hall 2 chair, if you would ever need to like take 2 chairs, it's actually pretty easy, but you know, the more you do it, the easier it looks, but there's 3 steps. Before you do it, you want to make sure the seat's the whole way forward, because once you pull it out, it wants to fall backwards. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to move the seat the whole way forward. Come on in here. Down through here. You can see some, I don't know if you can see, there's just two little yellow dots on there, but I'm just going to unscrew the plug from the wall. There's only about 4 or 5 turns, and there's when you go to plug it back in, that little yellow dot is your top. So it's when you go to plug it back in, that's going to line up and you just screw it back on. So all you're going to do is just make sure this is out of the way. You tuck it in through here. All I'm going to do is pull on this black loop and just push in the back a little bit. Now it's up on wheels. I'll get the restraint out of the way. Try not to run anybody's toes over. But it's on wheels and throw it in the garage.
Isn't that awesome?
I know, isn't that?
So now, it doesn't run down the road. So now you have 2 chairs, so you need other restraints. There is manual ones in the back. I actually put them down underneath the back panel, back by the spare tire. Or say you just wanted to leave that space open, you can use these up front. And there's actually track right over where these will snap to for the chair. And here's another set over here for the other one. Now in the front, in the Toyota, I actually have it behind the seat here. There's the one in the mid row back here, and there's a front one. They are actually labeled where it says front row use only, and the other one is mid row use. If I take this front one and I try to use it in the mid row, it will not even work. They're actually different sizes. So the front one, you're just going to clip it into the floor back here. It's just going to clip right on. Throw it over the armrest, or over the seat, and you just hook it right in down here. This piece just picks up, just locks right into the floor. Actually, one thing, if you do need them, with the restraints, I'll give you the guide. It's in with all the paperwork. In the front, you keep them fanned out. In the back, you keep them almost straight. You can basically like degrees in the back. You don't want to like go over a wheedle. Front, you can go out 25 degrees. But there'll be a guide where there's a big. You do need to move them. This loop right here pulls it out. And when it's in, if you just need to move it, you can pick that up and just slide it right over, make sure it's locked. And you're hooking. You know, pick it up, slide it over, it's locked.
So easy.
When you hook them on, when you go to move, you might hear just a quick click. All four of them will fight each other. And that chair won't go anywhere. They self-tighten. And if you really needed to, you can actually just turn this a little bit, just tighten it yourself for extra security, but they will all tighten themselves.
Pretty cool.
Should be everything. Bunch of plugs down here for phones and all your adapters and everything now. Another one up here. Another one up here. Short deploy. I'll show you two other things real quick. Short deploy. If you ever have a problem with the ramp or the needle and it won't go out, you can come back in. Come back here. And this is a backup system. There's two backup systems. This will be the first one. Actually, you shove it out of the way. I'm just going to push it, and you're going to hear it beeping. When the beep stops and starts to go on its own, solid beep. So now so now I can use this, and I use the other button right below it, and it says in and out right on the button. You can run it in and out. You can see it in and out. It's just a rocker switch. It'll run the ramp in and out. This is used, if there is an issue, or even if the battery's dead of the vehicle. Say somebody left the lights on all night and you came out, you can manually open the door. There is a backup battery just for the ramp and the needle. And that's what works, if somebody really needs to get in or out. It's cold and you're waiting for a dump or whatever. Now, if it is dead for a period of time, this battery will go dead also. Now, this is all dead. The battery's dead. You do need to get the ramp in and out. Actually, I need to close that door.
Mm-hmm.
You just hit the button. Yeah. If you just tap the handle on the inside or the outside, the doors will automatically open. Right in this door panel right here is a manual crank. We'll open that back up so it can be also. Just has a point and a spline gear on it. So all I'm going to do, and it's actually really not bad. You just stick that point down into the hole right here on the floor, and that cover just pops right off. And I don't know if you can. There's a little brass collar right there. This brass piece right here, that nub just goes into there. It just fits right into that hole, and it sits right into that little loop there, and you just hand crank it. It's really not that bad. I mean, I'm not. But that's in the worst case scenario. If that doesn't work, you need to call Total Mobility Service. Darn it. Hopefully, you'll never have to worry about that. But I've known people that have had to use it numerous times, and I've had people that have never used them. They don't even know they're there.
Now,
If you
for
beat-
emergency situations, is there a sticker?
The manual, the conversion manual, which Kim has. I mean, we can keep it in the glove box.
A sticker for it to get into it?
No, a sticker that says their number in an emergency situation. Is there anything on the vehicle?
Our phone number is right on it's outside the door here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big letter.
4-hour call center. Somebody will get a hold of you.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. All right.
The main. Either one.
Perfect.
That that's not. It'll give you the number also if you do call different number. But yeah, we do have all that.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Under the seat.
There's a piece of the van already missing.
Oh, no.
No, just kidding.
I know.
Totally offended.
Guys, is there anything that we need to know? Like if we hear a certain sound that we shouldn't push something? Like, is there anything, like any telltale signs that there's going to be a problem with the ramp or anything like that? Is there any?
I think it just makes
Sometimes, if you're using it a lot, or I have a paper for Kim, which she'll show. I'm sure she'll show you or make some coffee or something. But if you let go of that, press and hold that button for the door for a couple seconds. I think they say 4 seconds. If you let it go too soon, or like the Dodge is in the hit that one twice. Some people will hit it twice because they're used to their vehicle or something. Once in a while, I call it the brain. There is a controller in the back for this whole conversion. It gets lost. It forgot where it was, and you have to get it to recycle. It might just be manually opening the door and letting it closed. Leave it 30 seconds. Just leave it go for a couple minutes or whatever, and then try the button again. You could always call us though too, but we do recommend every 6 months.
Sorry, we have to put this in. I almost forgot.
Every 6 months, you do want to try to get preventative maintenance. It's not a big deal. You don't go out in 15 minutes. If there's an issue, they're just going to lube everything, check everything
See how
out.
hard it is to roll it up there, Alexa.
Actually, this one is a little bit longer. It might be more like half hour, 45 minutes, because they had to take the whole floor out because everything is inside versus fold out. But once in a while it gets lost, but it'll get itself back on. And we're always there too.
That seems pretty easy.
Yeah.
I feel like Alexa might be the van pro over here. That's pretty neat.
Keep it over towards over here. See those black?
Mm-hmm.
That's you want
Stop right there.
You want to keep it straight when going in.
Okay.
You're actually a little bit
Crooked.
crooked. There you go. A little bit. And you can almost look down there. That's your hook. Now underneath there's a pedal.
Right here.
Yep, you hit that. That's going to come down. You hit the pedal and you try to get it in.
Okay.
Not lined up right.
Yeah.
It does take a little bit.
Okay, here it is. I see what you did.
Still not in. It's not in the front.
Not in the front, but those black things are supposed to align up with.
With the track.
Okay.
You have to get, there's actually hooks on the front.
Mhm.
Need to go into here.
Okay. You want
Be good there. I'll flip back here. That's over.
Okay.
It's right.
Yeah,
And then once you
it's
have it
that
in,
way. Yeah.
you can see it's in, but just to double check yourself, I just put my feet there, but he's not going anywhere.
Okay, and then you twist that on.
Little yellow dot should be on the top,
Okay.
straight up. It's
Right here.
Yep, and then you're righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yes.
You got her.
Okay.
And you're ready.
Good job.
Yay.
Putting it
Now we
back
know
in,
who to call.
right? And that's her first time she's ever done it. Making sure that it is in and pulling on that back seat, because we've had people, they'll put them back in, and then somebody will go to get a gas. Yeah, and it's happened, believe me. And actually, I've been in the showroom already and I just ran off, and somebody just pushed it in. I mean, not to reach for the brake. That should be everything though. The remote, the back hatch, everything's all automatic. The other restraints, just a bit of fast things, not simple. I'll see if you open it. You can always call me though. Always come back. The other restraints are actually manual.
Oh, look, we have cleaning.
I know.
No, just kidding.
I just have them back in here to keep them out of the way and less clanging.
Like, I wonder what that's for. Overall, this has gone well.
Tougher. Yeah, it's walking into the track. Butter Kim up and tell her to get another. They're just
I don't know.
here.
We'll see. They're like $500, so we'll see.
We missed what
$563.
what that $500 thing is
We'll
supposed to
see
do.
if you guys are on your best behavior. If we're gonna, I mean, it's for the automatic restraints instead of those manual ones. But we're rarely
Okay.
going to use those running. Second wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay.
People love it. They'd probably come down, play
Yeah.
seat forward.
Yes. Well, they were mainly, like your as a conversion. It takes these up and down, and the center one, they release here.
Oh,
Where are you? We don't need
No, I
that.
mean, it comes.
We don't need
A lot of people do. Not necessarily the same one, but other people will take them out.
That's cool.
Just better visibility out the back. That's not the end of it. How much are we?
Well, I noticed back. The headrests are really.
Okay. Any questions that anybody has at all? Anything I can answer for anyone?
No.
All right.
thank you.
Thank
like
you.
I said, if a question or anything, gladly ask him. She'll give you my number and gladly give me. And if I'm not there, I'll get back to you as soon as I can.